YouTube? Dark Signer here, coming at you guys with another video. So essentially, you guys have been asking me a lot about like the Shaddoll deck and the Monarch deck, and I will be uploading another Gatekeeper deck just because my buddy actually took first place in another one of the bigger tournaments, like the OTS. He got like the little trophy and everything, so that was actually really cool. So I will be uploading the Gatekeeper deck. He'll explain things the way he wants to explain it. As far as the Shaddoll deck, a lot of people were asking me if I could upload some duels with it and stuff like that. So I will do that right now. I'll show you guys what I was playing. Instead of just regular duels, I kind of wanted to show you guys replays. That way I could kind of, what's it called? That way I could kind of like explain things as they go along instead of you guys super waiting. Like, cause some games did take a long time. So yeah. So I just kind of want to get a super fast rundown of the deck, just because like there are some changes between this one and the other one. If you guys want to see the other one, go to the other video. It's up on my channel. So I played 2 Ariel, 1 Trick Clown, 3 Wendy, 2 Beasts, 1 Dragon. Falco is a little bit strange, but he comes up a lot, especially in the grain game, because this deck doesn't have like the dogmatic engine or something else. I was thinking of kind of maybe messing around with the Eldritch stuff, just because it's another trap, like I guess like that I could use. But Falco's been really good. 2 Hedgehog, 3 Scamata. I just always want access to this because I want to always have like a way to like just send things, I guess, like in different chain links and kind of just mess around with like that. And I think 3 comes up a lot. 2 Mathematicians, I did bump it up to 2. This card's just super good. It's a good starter. It gives you everything you want. It becomes any Shaddoll essentially. You put it over Armageddon Knight because you are able to send Wendy or like Ariel and stuff like that. 3 El Shaddoll, I bumped it up to 3. This card's nutty. You always want to see it opening hand, so it's really good. Foolish Burial, 3 Shaddoll Fusion, 3 Super Poly. This card's ridiculous in this deck. 3 Dino Mystius, 2 Incarnations, 2 Shadow Games. This card's actually come up a lot just because like obviously you're trying to grind and just being able to like just do. I mean, this card is so versatile. Like you're able to like set this, flip it up, pop something. You're able to like reborn something. It's just a lot. So, like obviously being able to use this, there's just a lot of like implications that the card has. As far as Sinister Shadow Game, same thing. It becomes any Shaddoll, but it also flips them, so it like you get the added effect. 3 Strike. 2 Subterra Succession, so if you guys don't know what this does, basically you send 1 monster from your hand or face up on the field, and you either add another monster with like the same attribute but a different level, or just a different name. So just essentially search out any of the ones you want. So yeah, it's just a way, and then it resets itself. So it's just unlimited plus. Well, I don't want to say unlimited because obviously the deck does run out of monsters eventually, but it's just a constant flow of monsters. And then 3 Torrential, this card's like the best card right now. 3 Trap Trick because it searches out like pretty much everything except for Strike, and then 1 Schism because it's searchable. This card's just ridiculous at your grind. So yeah, again, the deck is just like you're just trying to grind. That's it. Like a lot of your like opening boards or don't look very scary. It's just as far as like once you start snowballing, then that's when the deck becomes what it is. As far as the side deck goes, 1 Pankrotop, 3 Nibiru, 2 Phantasmi, just because these guys kind of go hand in hand. Whenever I wanna be able to draw my Nibiru, I always want to have my Phantasmi to get me there. 2 Twin and 1 Harpy. I was trying Lightning Storm, but I just didn't like it. I might go back to it. We'll see, just because a lot of the stuff is like settable. But once you have control, it's kind of hard to like, I guess, not have a face-up card. So that's why I like Twin, and plus like it's just good. Like it's just a good card. Twin. I mean Harpy's nutty. I think you really match like the best card against like pretty much everything. Against Trap Brigade, you just like evenly match them, and then you essentially win. Solemn Judgment, because what it is, you go first, you activate it. I thought about playing it in the main deck, but I just didn't like it. I was trying the Eldritch engine, I didn't like it, but we'll see. I mean, this thing might change up, but this is the way I have it now. There was people asking me like, how do you deal with Dragoon once it's on the board? So with Dragoon, it is kind of hard to get over, just because it's a very annoying card. Like one way is like doing this, and then like targeting something else, or you're able to like run it over with access code, or like you have to borrow Lord of Dragon, or you have the 3 super polys. So essentially, you could draw the 3 super polys, right? So that's one way to out it. And essentially, that card's not so. I guess like once you deal with it, the decks that play that card aren't very hard against this deck. And again, you always have access to like Boral Sword to get over it. So I don't know. I've never really had a lot of issue with it, just because I have a lot of ways to get to it. And then like them negating one card, like it's not so bad, especially like if you have like a strike or something. Like you might not kill it, but you're able to negate the effect, and then just Boral Sword it. Like you have so many ways like to do things. I don't know. Especially once you get going, I don't know. You just kind of like beat it. and they have access to like this card, which kind of recurs itself. So yeah. As far as the extra deck, it's pretty generic, except for maybe like the Shikanaga. But I just play this because it's an Earth target, and you're able to what's it called, super poly things. I was testing this for a while, but I just didn't like it. So yeah. And then so access code Appaloosa, because you can make all this stuff. Cross Sheep, really good again to make your Boros Sword. Gravity Controller, Nightmare Unicorn, and then the Construct, because sometimes you don't draw it, and also let you get under, like, when people cite in, like, anti-spell against you and stuff like that, like, you hit them with this, and then you essentially win. So I kind of want to show you guys, like, some, I guess, like, some replays that I had. Don't mind the other losses. I'll show you guys the ones I was playing with Shaddoll. I was testing Monarchs here, and, like, I was using this new version, and I guess, like, I'll just show you guys real quick. So essentially, I was testing Monarchs, and I kept losing to like dumb stuff. I kept winning like game one, but it's like an Emancipator. This guy just got pretty sacky game two. I mean, sorry, game two and three. So yeah, game one, like I just ended up winning. I also like, if you guys were like curious about Monarchs, this is like kind of what the deck plays out. So essentially, you always have access to things. Yeah, see like boom, and then yeah. So yeah, I'll just get out of this, I guess. So these are the four games I played with it, just to kind of show you guys. I'll kind of go through the main ones, and I'll kind of discuss things how good games go around. See, and then I ended up losing the dice roll on this one. I played this guy before, Jin Mori, but so yeah, so he's on PK. So essentially, I mean, this card is auto win against this matchup. No matter what their board is, you're just able to clear it, just because, like, I don't know, the boards they make aren't very scary for you. So yeah, so he opened up pretty nutty. He was playing like the instant fusion for the target, which is, and he was playing this engine, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, so like super obviously like what you think of a board, like, and then they end on Nightmare usually. So I guess we'll just kind of go through his combo, just because we are giving him the screen time. So you still targeted that. You're still trying to run it over. Again, you're just trying to grind this matchup. So he's gonna keep negating. You're gonna keep bringing stuff back, like, and then so remember, guys, like, you always want to obviously like chain block the Appaloosa. There's always ways to get around Appaloosa. Oh, so here so there's always ways obviously to stop Appaloosa from doing things. Appaloosa's not that hard of a card, just because, like, again, you have so many effects going off at once, and just being able to, like I said, again, chain block. Like, if you didn't have this, obviously you put this as like chain link one, so you can negate the Appaloosa. And then here I sinister Shadow Games to get rid of, like, try to get rid of all these guys, I guess, like the little Phantom Knight stuff, while still being able to flip my Schemata to also pop something on the field, which I wanted to get rid of Rusty, and just being able to get rid of like the Banish, just cause I don't like Rusty. I think Rusty's a really strong card. I'm not sure what happened in this game. I don't know if I lose this game. I might, just 'cause like the way it looks, but I'm pretty sure I win game 2 and 3. So just come through with it. So he ends up getting rid of my thing. He ends up making access code. I try to trigger it. He negates. He has another Fog Blade. I'm pretty sure this game is just over at this point. I think I'm left with like 100 life points here. Yeah, so 100 life points. He makes Zeus. I just lose. Okay. So don't worry about that game. I mean, I think that game was still very winnable. I couldn't stop another tour guide. So here, so we went like you always want to go like Schemata into like something, just because you want to like deck in. You want to be able to draw your background. Plus, I already had a lot of monsters here, and then use your summon mathematician to send this. Obviously, like, again, these are like your super generic plays. I usually want access to Beast, just because like it'll trigger like the rest of the ones in my hand and stuff like that. You could also get depending on your field. Like, if you had like Sinister Shadow Games, you could also get like a Schemata here, just to kind of do things, because if you torrential, you're able to trigger Schemata, but at the same time, if you have like Sinister Shadow Games, you're able to flip it to pop something. So yeah. But so he goes tour guide, get graph, obviously. So here he does this, just send stuff, obviously. His hand's still pretty good. I try to get rid of it. I try to trigger the Schemata. The reason why I did this is just because I wanted to get away from like Seer being able to bring back something. And the thing is, even if he summons something, the Seer will just die, which is why I got rid of this. I mean, it sucked that he hit my Schemata, but I mean, it happens. So he goes instant fusion. Obviously, that thing dies. He tries to trigger this. Once I see that he has nothing, what's it called? So right here, the reason why I didn't torrential right away is just because I didn't see the need to. If he pops my thing, which is fine, he only has one in the graveyard, so he can't break anything back from Break Sword. So that's like whatever. He pops my torrential, and he's gonna have to run over my mathematician no matter what. Like he doesn't want to just run into a beast and not know what I have. So he's gonna have to hit the what's it called? He's gonna have to hit the mathematician just so. I mean, obviously, he just doesn't want to trigger. I still get to draw a card, which is good. And then obviously that's the reason why I didn't torrential. If you guys were wondering why, once he's summoned Zeus, I mean it's a whole different story. I have to get rid of it. I didn't think he would go for Zeus, but it happens, I guess. And again, you just want to keep advantage. This deck is just all this deck does. What's it called? So yeah. So when he summons that, just automatically get rid of it, bring back that, and then just know that. I mean, this is like pretty obvious for Yu-Gi-Oh, I guess, but the Paleozoics aren't a cost. So if they negate it, you don't discard. And then same thing with like they trigger the Shaddoll. So yeah. And then just again, I want to get things on board. I ended up getting this just because I still wanted to like, what's it called? Get a card that's gonna search me something else that I want, and then plus the dragon was gonna be able to trigger to pop the back row. So I just ended up getting rid of everything, and the game's just over at that point. You know? Pretty simple stuff. As far as this game goes, he goes first again. Again, like this deck, I think PK is a really good deck just for the fact that like it's so hard to interrupt it. And I think that's why, like, even on other decks, I don't really side like any any hand traps or anything like that. Besides like Nibiru, just because like you can't really like mess around with this deck, just because like if you negate something, like they're still gonna set up a board, so it just becomes kind of annoying. So yeah, so he ends up doing this. Oh, I don't know why. I think it took a while here, but yeah. So he's like viewing deck, he's doing a bunch of stuff. He ends up going Rusty, gets the card, obviously. Gets a search. So he ends up bringing this out. Uh, this is an interesting card to me. I don't know what it really does for you, but I guess it gives you access to like living fossil, but well not living, but yeah. So he ends up getting like a full board, and again this kind of goes back to like the chain links and stuff like that. I ended up like trying to make the chain link so that I can negate the Palooza, just because I wanted that card. It's obviously like it becomes like a real problem once it has like multiple negates, because I have to keep trying to chain block it. So yeah, and then obviously I scared him by trying to get rid of the stuff again. So he ends up nightmaring this. I end up getting rid of this. I end up schemating trying to get over this. Like he lets it through. I don't think he finds it as like intimidating. So then I go El Shaddai. I wanted him to go Nightmare, just so I could get rid of the last card in his hand. Or like some weird thing where like he makes like what's his name? I forget his name. The one that like it can be targeted and stuff like that. But so again, but I think it was just better for him just to get run over because he still has access to this. It's fine. I ended up getting rid of everything. Like this game is pretty much over at this point. I still have Schism, so he has to go in for access code on resolution, get rid of this, and the game is over. Pretty simple stuff. I mean, there's nothing too difficult. I hope that you guys kind of get my understanding as far as like what I was doing, and then I ended up having this again set just because I'm able to banish this and something else just to flip it, and then trigger the effect to pop something. So it just becomes like another disruption, and then obviously like it's pretty impossible to get rid of this. And then Schism, you kind of just save it for like the best card. I mean, he had a really good opening. Yeah, like pretty generic stuff. So we'll go through. So the loss I have, we'll go through the loss I guess too. So I ended up winning the dice roll on this one. I played this guy a lot of times. So he's on Dragon Link. I think this game just literally came down to a twin twister, and kind of like a decision of whether I should get rid of set 3 or not, which is like, so again like this seems pretty underwhelming, but most of the time you'll get there. And the reason why I got Falco is just like I wanted another flow of pluses, I guess. So I wanted to be able to just flip Falco and then just keep poking and stuff like that. So he ends up going for Falco, obviously, but that's fine. I protected it. I get rid of the Chaos Space just in case. I can't do that. Sorry, I misplayed on that one. Window should have been brought out over here, but it's fine. Cross Sheep is still good, so your Mailers is kind of annoying. I'm able to trigger this so that I can get it off the board, and then it resolves. And again, you just want to have access to things. So I ended up triggering everything, and obviously this is what's it called? If you guys want to slow it down, sorry if it's going a little too fast. I just wanted to make Appaloosa while still having like what's it called, everything going, and then so yeah, so we'll get there, and then we'll flip this. We'll still bring back our window just in case he tries to like Nibiru or something, and then yeah, so window plus Appaloosa is pretty much game. Even if he attacks it, that's fine. It's still Appaloosa. Game two, I mean he does pretty like generic stuff. This was a bad decision essentially here too. I ended up losing because of a misplay essentially. So he ends up going for this for Romulus. Every time they go Romulus, I'm like, I don't know. I usually feel like their hand's pretty bad. So I ended up getting rid of my Wendy, but I should have gotten rid of something else. But yeah, we'll keep going. Obviously, like it's hindsight, so he just keeps going off. It makes this guy, and I still feel pretty good just because I have torrential strike. But what's it called? I think this game was easily winnable, but I don't know. I ended up misplaying, so he goes Chaos Legionnaire, gets rid of a card from my hand, hits a Dynamiscus. I go Shaddoll Fusion, he triggers to get rid of the board, which is fine essentially. Essentially that card got rid of 2 cards for the price of 1. I think this is where the game should have been over, but so then here he bounces something, and again I'm still left with Torrential Strike, but he ends up playing it pretty well. I think this came down literally to like the last thing. So I end up negating the summon just because like it must be summoned once. I didn't want him being able to like go Rocket Synchron and just bringing it back, or like Red Eyes Metal to bring it back. It sucked because he had the safer, so he's able to add it back, and I still feel pretty good just because like. So I ended up going Incarnation to bring back this, and then obviously you're able to pop something. So I ended up popping that because I know he's gonna bring out the Legionnaire, and I just end up setting again. He just runs it over, which is fine. It sucks because I drew the Nibiru like right afterwards. Again, this is why I feel weird about like I don't know. I guess stuff like this. I hate drawing like my side deck once it's too late. But so yeah. So this is a pretty good hand. I end up going Mathematician, but he Valors it, which sets me back. And again, it goes back to that play. So I was debating like, should I just set 3? If I set 3, I kind of protect myself in a way from Twin Twister, just because like he has to hit the right 2. I think either of these cards just win the match, but I ended up not going with it because I was scared of Lightning Storm. But I shouldn't have been scared, because like my reasoning was like if he builds a negate, like let's say like he goes like Savage or something, and I go Shaddoll Fusion, I could activate another Shaddoll Fusion. But that was dumb because like this deck could obviously kill you. So even if he did have the Lightning Storm, that's plus another card in his hand for him to be able to just OTK me. So I think I should have just set 3, kept 1 Shaddoll Fusion in hand in case I survive, but just have 3 in general, just because like obviously. And then I think at that point, depending on here, like Torrential would obviously, I think Torrential ends the game because his hand's just not very strong. And then like right here I could have just like that, and then I think well, not end the game obviously, but continue the game. I think Super Poly ends the game. Cause like it gives me like more monsters, I guess, and it gives me like a way to beat him down. But again, like that was my misplay. I think it came down to that. I think if I don't, I think I'm fine. But I mean, it sucks. Oh, sorry. It's cause I'm also streaming this, so I am still playing Shaddoll. I'm trying to mess around with it because there's people on the YouTube channel that have been asking me to like do like deck tutorials. So I'm kind of just making a video explaining like what I would do in situations. And again, I should have said 3. I think the Twin Twister, depending on what it hit, I could have literally waited until he summoned the Savage. Well, not Savage, sorry, like the Legionnaire, and I think I was fine. But I mean, things happen. So yeah, it literally came down to that. We'll go through another one. Let's go. So I think I win the dice roll on this one as well. So again, it's come out. It just keeps throwing freaking. Yeah, it's annoying. So I just wanted a Hedgehog just to have like a way to get more monsters. Just because I wanted more flow and I wanted a deck thin again. So yeah, so I changed to the tour guide when he brings out Skarm, so he's kind of left again. Like, so he ends up attacking this. I guess my Dolphins just to keep my pluses going. So he sets 3. Again, illegal play. I kept forgetting about that. Don't worry about that, guys. Just summon window over here, I guess, and it changes things. For some reason, I kept thinking I kept bringing it over here, but whatever. I guess it actually mattered, but yeah. So this is like a trap burning abyss deck. This is actually pretty good. I think the deck's actually very very good. So again, I just kind of wanted to summon more guys, keep plowing through things. So he ends up getting rid of my stuff, which is fine. Like it triggers everything, so whatever. Yeah. The reason why I still set the super poly was just because I again I just didn't want to get twin shirt or something weird. I just like was wondering why he had so much back row. Yeah, and the game just ends at that point. I just gives him away the bar, and yeah. So this time he goes first. So he sets up a nice little um dragoon, and I guess it's kind of like showing what I guess is possible, like depending on what happens, like. So yep, against he pretty much lets everything resolve, which is weird because I was trying to bait it out, but see again like this cards like this is just weird to me. Like this is why I don't like drawing sideboard cards. So I try to trigger. Like I've been trying to discard cards from his hand, but he just doesn't do it. I wanted to be able to have like I guess like enough monsters to where I could what's it called, make my Boral sword. So yeah, so he ends up negating. My whole plan was to like make the thing, but he ends up striking this. I end up going for Shaddoll fusion and try to evenly. Like again, like this guy, like he like I don't know. I guess it sucks. I thought he would negate the evenly. I thought I could actually use my Shaddoll fusion, but yeah, didn't work out that way. So this time I went first. He had an evenly match, was kind of is really annoying. So I was able to just go shadow games. So here, like again, this is why like stuff like this is so good, just because like you're able to like in different chain links, and like, I could also just like have sent like Schemata or something, just to kind of like get more things. But here I just needed monsters, just so I wanted to have more monsters in the deck, which is why I didn't send the Schemata. And like the Schism, I ended up getting rid of Schism, just because I didn't think I was gonna be able to get there eventually. So I just wanted to be able to blow up his back row. Like that to me was a little more valuable. But looking back, maybe I could have just kept that. That way I could just like I just didn't want to bring out Winda and then him being able to just go like Ice Dragon Prison, so I just wanted to get rid of the back row. And I felt like I could get more monsters just through Hedgehog and stuff like that, so yeah. Which is why I got like the Incarnation. And again here like my Super Poly is always gonna be live, and again like you're able to just go like Hedgehog and just kinda continue the flow of monsters that the deck is like needing, right? So which is why I kept the twin instead of the other one. I just felt like Schism wasn't like needed here. And again, like this card is like super annoying. Like if I keep Schism, like it just like yeah. So I just felt it was a little more better. And again, this is just like the way you play it, right? So I ended up doing that, banishing that to get my flip, to get the thing, to get the Winda. Cause I knew Winda just ends the game in this matchup, especially when they have like one back row. Like, cause he's gonna have to get rid of my Winda, and he's gonna have to like see, like boom again, yeah, and then just make construct and then you win. Like it's pretty generic stuff. Like again, like the deck just literally wants to just continue like applying pressure while just keep continuing the flow of monsters and stuff like that. But obviously there's situations like the first time when I didn't send Schemata, I just didn't have enough monsters, so I wanted to have a more access to more monsters. And this was against Salamangreat. Again, like the board seems super underwhelming most of the time because you're just like setting stuff, but like you're fine. So I wanted to get rid of that before he makes anything, or like that way the Gazelle in his hand doesn't trigger. I kind of knew, and that's the reason why here like I told him I was looking it up, cause I had already forgotten like if Gazelle triggers whenever it leaves the field, or when it gets sent to the graveyard. So I just wanted to get rid of it without him being able to trigger Gazelle. So yeah, and then once you make Winda, this game's over. Like literally, it sucks because he stopped my Hedgehog, so I was trying to get more monsters. And again, like he attacked over this, that's fine. Hits Hedgehog, more continue my pluses. So he just gets to that. So he ends up getting rid of that. That's fine. That was my mistake. I should have attacked over the Bailings first. That was a big misplay actually. But I mean, I still won just because Windows like so. It's such an overpowered card. But again, like I should have attacked over the Bailings first. So please guys don't do that. Attack over Bailings. That way you obviously like I could have resolved my Hedgehog and I could have. I mean, the game would have still been over at that point, but yeah. So I ended up getting rid of the Bailings. But here was a big mistake, well, like huge mistake actually. So I just wanted to kill the Dweller, just because I was like, maybe he'll forget about the thing, but or whatever. But I don't know. It was still really dumb. I attacked the Balings because then you can't trigger the Gazelle. This could have ended really bad, like super bad actually. If I would have popped this and he would have brought out Gazelle, the game would have just been over. Well, not over, but he would have gotten a lot of advantage out of it. So please, guys, don't do that. Attack over the Balings first, and then pop the Dweller afterwards. That was. I don't know what I was thinking. I think I misclicked or something, but yeah, whatever. So he does this, obviously. Save the Nibiru. I could have Nibiru'd him like when he made the Dweller, but there was no point. Like like a Pankratops just with the whole board. So here, so when he brings out the Jaguar, I just do it. So yeah, it sucks because like if this was face up, I could have gotten rid of it and then like gotten rid of everything in his graveyard. So again, like this thing, when you don't have access to like Shaddoll fusion, this thing comes in clutch. So yeah, and I just wanted to see what would happen. But yeah, again, it just comes in clutch. Like this card is like super nutty. Like, and then you're still able to make that Palooza with the Shaddoll, and then you still have Schism, and you have this to bring back the Winda, and you still have the obviously the Palooza. So in hindsight, guys, that's it for this one. I will be uploading the Shaddoll one. I mean, sorry, the Monarch one. But this is the deck list. If you guys want to see another rundown of it, I think it works out perfectly. I like all the cards kind of like go hand in hand essentially. Like I said, I kind of wanted to test the Eldritch stuff, but we'll go from there. And yeah, guys, and thank you for guys that are watching the stream. I really appreciate it.